What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, we are live on the test server, mainly just to have a bit of gameplay of Jetni the Giant and Alsgor Crimsonhorn, where Jetni's the new fusion that should be starting live in game sometime today, and she's just got down with a big smack there. But usually on the channel, we like to break down the event calendar, which is what we're going to be doing today, to see how intensive and also the best ways that I'd be recommending to take on this fusion if it's something that you're interested in. But yeah, we got absolutely smacked there. What's going on? I thought we'd at least be able to get through like the first floor there. But briefly going over Jetni, I haven't done like a full in-depth guide yet. I am planning to do one this weekend, primarily for Clan Boss. Is somewhere that I really wanted to showcase. But I feel like a lot of her value comes from having the partner ability in the Alsgor to create block damage compositions, mainly for the Iron Twins Fortress or the Clan Boss, but also as a relatively good nuker. I'd say like middle of the road personally from what I've been seeing for Arena as well. But she has some good capabilities with the A1. I've definitely been taking this out by Nub Raids yesterday on a collab. I was like, ooh, that A1 smacks harder than I thought. Also with the barrier breach, has a chance to ignore defense as well, and a non-resistible drop defense, meaning you do not need accuracy when you've got the partner ability. She's also got a extra increased crit rate and increased crit damage, but only grants the extra turn when killing the enemy and also having the partner skill on the same team. So you're getting a lot of value from that second part once again. And hopefully, I'm not too sure how they're going to do it. They might be able to put it in a champion training event or something like that to give players some form of chance to get the partner's ability as well. Similar to Altar of the Shell when they did it with Oella. And then also has a capability to ignore all shield buffs if Alsgor is on the same team. Now for me, I've been in two minds about doing it. We're going to break down this calendar and it might sway my opinion a little bit as well. But for me, she just reminds me of Yannicka, because Yannicka can ignore all of shield buffs whilst also removing them as well if they're under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. And it's like, if this is a champion that we can get and gather fragments over time for free anyway, and she hits relatively hard and she's a Spirit Affinity nuker, I'm just thinking if I'm getting as much value from a Jetni, right? But we'll see. Let's just see how the event calendar is looking this time round. So let me just pull that up. And boom. So Jetni the Giant, for this one here, if I just move myself out of the way briefly, you can see that there are 155 fragments in total. 40 of those are going to be coming from top place leaderboards from like the Dragon or the Classic Arena and coming the top of the brackets there. And then there's a bonus 15 fragments on top of that. So there's 115 available, granted that you go for every single one here. So this is going to alleviate some of the stress from specific tournaments, such as maybe the Summon Rush, having 20 points in there. So you can just go for like the first milestone and go for everything else on the leaderboard. Or if you're going all out on summons, you can maybe not do an artifact enhancement or something like that. But there is a 15 points leeway if you're not going for any of the top brackets there. So starting off here on a Thursday, May 11th, so basically the time that the fusion begins, they always tend to have a dungeon starting, and this time it's going to be the Dragon, but there's no form of double dipping. You guys know that we like the double dips, the triple dips around here, and this all kicks off with the Dungeon Divers tomorrow to coincide with the Summon Rush, which we should be getting some news on very soon. And basically, this is going to allow you, if you start tomorrow, to get some Dungeon Divers points whilst doing the Dragon, so you're not wasting points on the first day. So for me personally, if I was going for the fusion, I'd be skipping today completely, gathering my resources, and just doing it all tomorrow for the Dungeon Divers. Also on that, we're going to have the Summer Rush as well. This is just going to be summoning your shards. And usually, I like to go for like the first milestone. Sometimes the end, it just depends on the style of fusion. I usually go for it when there's an extra epic in traditional styles. But in fragment events, I go for the 5 fragments or the 10, depending how they do it. And then I'll do the champion chase later on, which is usually on a 2x event, right? Because it will be the 10x this weekend. Following this, with the Dungeon Divers as well, there is going to be a champion training event and an artifact enhancement event starting at the same time on the Saturday, May 13th. And this is also going to help you do the Dungeon Divers event, right? Get some points from the campaign battles or whatever that may be. And then it could be a good time to use some of the brews that you could have saved up for this as well. At the same day, there's also a Classic Arena takedown. And this is self-explanatory. You just go into the classic arena and you get all of the milestone rewards from gathering those victories. And then you should be able to get the fragments towards one of the milestones there. And yeah, this is pretty much the theme all the way up until a Tuesday, or Monday should I say, when the ice golem kicks off. But you're going to still have one more day of, if I just put down here, there's going to be one more day of dungeon divers to coincide with the start of the ice golem. So let's just say the dragon wasn't enough, and then the champion trading you did with Bruce, for example, there's still an extra way on a one-day layoff to complete a few more points for that dungeon divers just to finish it off in case you fell short, right? But there is only 5 fragments in this one, just depends on the threshold that they put it at, right? So let's just make this look a little bit nicer. I'm so bad at this. Nub Raids is like a professional art painter. But yeah, this one's going to carry on all the way up until the Thursday morning. And this is just going to coincide with the champion training event at the same time. But there's going to be no extra dungeon divers for this ice golem, because it kicks off then here, if we just want to split it up a little bit, on Thursday, May 18th, which is where this Dungeon Divers 2 starts. And once again, there's nothing to coincide with this once it begins. So you want to be waiting one day, right, until Friday. So boom. To start off here, because this is where a finite tournament will be going live in full effect, so you can double dip once again, get that optimized, and this is also going to be at the same time as the champion chase tournament. So you want to be summoning those shards, getting up to the milestone rewards, and I'd recommend just stopping after that, unless you really need to get some bonus fragments, which if you stayed on top of it, should be pretty easy to do, right? As long as you prepared in advance. From here, the Classic Arena Takedown and Champion Training Tournament will be starting, so Sunday here. Classic Arena, once again, taking down those opponents. And then, boom, on the Monday, just as the Dungeon Divers is finishing, the Champion Training Tournament will begin. Meaning that you won't have a lot of double dipping again, apart from here, where you can catch it a little bit on the Thursday, May 25th. So if you want to do some of your brews or other ways of ranking up your champions, and then using your campaign battles on the Thursday, will be the best way to get a bit of points. But this also won't be a problem, because the spider will be starting as well, right? On this, you'll be able to lay off there as well. So I'd say spider, potentially just wait, guys. Like Tuesday and Wednesday, there's nothing going on. Maybe just do it all on the Thursday if you've got the points saved up. Catch it up, and then boom, you'll be able to finish off that dungeon divers there, right? But it's all down to your discretion. You can do it in advance as well if you feel like you can do this, or if you're skipping some of these events. Like let's just say you do all of the Summon Rush this weekend, and then you do all of the Champion Chase as well on the Saturday, on that weekend there. You can maybe skip these last 2, right? That's 10 fragments, you got 15 leeway. So it just comes down to the ways that you've planned out your fusion and what works out better for you. Are you trying to finish it early? Are you trying to go for the top of the milestone rewards or the top of the leaderboards and gathering fragments as quickly as possible so you don't have to do some of them? It really comes down to your discretion and the way that you want to do that. But overall, pretty easy one, I guess. Like the way that it's laid out makes kind of sense. I wish that the Dungeon Divers was moved a little bit in a way to double dip more with the points, but overall, not too bad, right? But it just comes down to how you value this champion and all of that good stuff. I guess we can just go into the arena briefly. I'm just going to move myself back over here a little bit. So let's go up against Rubinate. We actually lost against his team yesterday, but we could try it again. And we could do Giants versus Giants. And the best Giant can win, I guess. All right, where's my champions gone? Alsgor, the God of Thunder. There he is. And we're going to go for a Jetni. And yeah, let's just try this out. See if we can nuke through them. It's going to be pretty hard as well. It just depends on who's fastest, right? All right, let's take them off. Oh, we have to be... Okay, we need to be careful here. So we could go for the stripping of the bus, right? But then he's going to have polymorph. I remember that from yesterday's collab. Let's just try it anyway. Oh, we got lucky. He's going to block debuffs up. Amplify the damage of a Jetni the Giant. And let's start off with... Let's see if we can kill somebody. I doubt it. Oh, we did. So that leads us into the extra turn with the duo ability. And then on a one-time speed, boom. Oh. Okay. Let's go for a round 2. We've got the block damage on now as well, so they can't do any damage to us. Nice. And the A1. Okay. So not too bad, right? As a duo ability, they're pretty fun, like with removing buffs and all of that good stuff. Some pretty good damage multipliers, nothing like out of this world, but seeing the Giants versus the Giants, we got that victory there, Nubs. I know you're watching. Alright, there we go. So yeah, guys, that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more like this in the future to break down some of the fusions. And Jetni putting in the work, like, actually surprised me for that damage output, but granted, she did take multiple attacks and stuff. But yeah, have an amazing rest of your day, and peace.